Am I the idiot for telling his girlfriend that he was cheating? I've been in a friends with benefits relationship with John for the past 5 years. During this time it has been on and off, and our arrangement would always stop when either of us were dating other people or in a serious relationship. The rules were that we were always honest with each other if we were seeing someone else, and we would immediately halt if this were the case. To give some context, I have known John since I was a kid, as we are close family friends. However, when this agreement began, John was adamant that we must keep it a secret as it could be problematic if our families found out. After I returned from overseas in April this year, we resumed our FWB relationship. In June, I became suspicious that John was seeing someone else after a mutual friend made a comment about seeing him out with another girl. I asked him about this, and he said that he had a girlfriend while I was overseas, but he had broken up with her before we resumed. I found it a little strange that he did not tell me this, but since we had always been honest with each other in the past, I brushed this off. Big mistake. A few weeks ago, John messaged me and asked me to come over. As I was at work, I told him that I would message him that night. When I finished my shift, I invited him over to my house. He responded and said that he couldn't, as he was at Bonnie's house. When I asked who Bonnie was, he said that she was his girlfriend, and that he thought I knew that. I freaked out and immediately blocked him on Facebook Messenger. I now know that this was some kind of weird power play, but I am ultimately still confused as to why he decided to tell me this way. After he realized that I had blocked him, he texted my phone and asked if I was okay. He apologized and said that he had some things to work out. I asked him how long he had been dating her, and he reluctantly told me that he had been with her since February. Keep in mind that I had also seen his family since then, and no one had ever mentioned that he had a girlfriend, nor did I see any posts on social media of John and Bonnie. I was unaware that this girl existed until this moment. I felt absolutely disgusting and messaged some of my friends to tell them what had happened. Each of them all said the same thing, that I should tell Bonnie. I was hesitant to do this as I did not want to ruin this poor girl's life. I slept on it, and in the morning I found her on Facebook, through mutual friends, and thankfully Bonnie isn't that common of a name where I'm from. I sent her a message request explaining the whole situation, and telling her that I had screenshots if she wanted to see them. She was shocked and told me that her and John were actually planning to celebrate their 1-year anniversary soon, more surprises, and that he had lied to me about when they started dating, not that it even mattered at this point. She asked for the screenshots and told me that she would break up with him the next day. Despite the horrible situation, she was thankful for me for telling her. A week later, I received a message from John's best friend, Kane, telling me that what I had done was absolutely disgusting. Although he was angry at John, he said that I was in the wrong for breaking up their relationship. He explained that Bonnie was suicidal and that I had caused her serious harm. He also said that John's mother, who is my mother's best friend, did not believe that I didn't know John had a girlfriend. Kane also said that all the mutual friends he has spoken to think the same thing. Obviously this is untrue, as this whole thing wouldn't have happened if I knew he had a girlfriend. I had to tell my mother what had happened before she heard it from John's mother, and now this has caused a rift between the two of them. I honestly thought that I would want to know if I was being cheated on, and that telling Bonnie was the right thing to do. I'm not looking for sympathy at all, but I know that I have told the 100% truth in this situation, and I have the evidence to prove it. I don't doubt that John has told a different version of this story to his friends, however I still feel like absolute trash, despite this being entirely his fault. Am I the asshole for telling her? Now for the next story. Am I the idiot for telling a girl just because she had a shitty husband? Doesn't mean everyone is? I, 36 male, met my wife when we were 14. Started dating at 16. Still together now. I know that doesn't always work for people, but it worked for us. This weekend, I was hanging out at a friend's house with a bunch of people. There was a girl there who is a friend of one of my friend's girlfriend. We'll call her Jane. I don't know her that well, but I see her around often because we are in the same friend circle. Drinks were flowing, and somehow the topic came up about how many being everyone has slept with. Jane was shocked when I mentioned I had only slept with one person. Context: Jane also married her high school sweetheart. They broke up when she found out that he had basically cheated the whole relationship with multiple women. One of his piss-poor excuses was that he hadn't had a chance to have fun or play the field yet before settling down. Anyway, she couldn't believe I have only had sex with my wife and said that I must have. I told her even if I had, why would I admit it? I've been with my wife since we were 16. Admitting to it would mean admitting I have cheated, which I haven't. In response to that, she just said that must mean that I have and I'm lying about it. At this point, I am getting annoyed because she is straight up accusing me of being unfaithful. She said she know from experience how unlikely it is. That's when I said that just because her husband was shitty, doesn't mean we all are. She just mumbled a whatever and was quiet for the rest of the night. I was talking to my friend the next day who said her girlfriend told him how upset Jane got over that. She apparently said that I know what she has been through and could have been more understanding. I said I understand what she's been through, but she doesn't need to put her issues on me and basically accuse me of cheating. My friend said he understood but probably would have been best to just leave it. Now for the next story. Am I the idiot for telling on someone for cheating on their girlfriend after they attacked and physically assaulted me? Before I begin this story, I'd just like to say that I genuinely want to know if I am in the wrong for this situation. I will be leaving out some specific details and changing names to keep this as anonymous as possible. Trigger warning for abuse survivors. Also, I have ADHD and tried my best to tell this story in a coherent way, so LMK if there are any questions. I, 22 female, met D, 23 male when I was 18. Our relationship started out as sexual and romantic until it was revealed to me that he was in a committed and exclusive relationship. Upon being told this information, I reluctantly accepted a friendship because of the great bond I thought we had. Over the past couple of years, we would have on and off sexual relations, each time me being told that he was single, and continued to remain close friends. Recently, when attending a club in New Mexico, we had an argument that began based off of me making a comment about him trying to hook up with someone close to me in the past. I am aware that it was stupid of me to remain friends with him after said incident, but I've made a lot of other stupid choices throughout this story. Upon me making this comment, I was called a bitch, to which I responded, "Don't call me a fucking bitch." A large altercation broke out with both of us yelling back and forth, which led to me being accidentally punched in the face. A couple of hours after the incident, he asked me up to his condo to discuss the incident and examine my face, to which I obliged, stupid. While having this discussion, I was repeatedly dragged, pinned against walls, thrown over chairs, and roughed up while in his dorm room with no one around to help. One of the times that I tried to get up, my anger took over me, and I slapped him across the face, again stupid, which caused the abuse to continue. As I was walking to the stairwell, I was chased and grabbed and pinned against the walls of the stairwell once more until he finally decided to let go. I went back home with bruises on my arms, legs, and chest, a skinned knee, and gashes on my legs. To backtrack a little bit, earlier that month, I had found out that him and the girl were very much still together, and I had been lied to about their relationship for quite a few months. With this information, I found the girlfriend's Twitter account and sent her all the evidence of him cheating on her along with proof of him attacking me. Now I'm being told that I'm evil and will get my karma, but in my opinion, that was his karma for beating me to the point of blood. And there were one of two ways this could have gone: go to the police and having his entire future ruined, or telling his GF he's a cheater. I knew one of them would hit harder in the moment, and perhaps I was wrong for that, but overall, I don't think it would have been fair to myself if I let him get away with what he did. I tried my best to admit my wrongs in this post as well as his, and I honestly need to know, am I the asshole? Update 1, I will be going down to the police station today to file a police report. Update 2, I've seen a couple of comments about me not knowing I was a side piece, and I'd just like to clear some things up. 1, when I first found out he was in a relationship, I cut contact with him for a few months BC. I was hurt by the situation. He came back and apologized several months later and explained to me that he was single. To my knowledge, both of us were single, so we continued to be intimate at that point. 2, I made it very clear to him when I initially found out and several times after that I am not and will never be okay with being a number 2 choice. I am a strong believer in loyalty, and I would not want to take part in any type of role when it comes to infidelity. 3. I believe that BC I was so adamant and intentional about the fact that I never wanted to be a side piece. He continued in his lie and never told me the truth about his relationship because he knew very well that he would not be able to have his cake and eat it too. He couldn't have both of us at the same time, so he kept that lie from both of us. 4. He never spoke about the girlfriend. I never saw pictures of her. I never saw comments on his social media from or about her, and I never saw any evidence of her in his phone. 5. I found out about the relationship because one of his friends drunkenly told me while I was with some girlfriends at a kickback. By that time, I had already ended sexual relations with him for personal reasons, but again, continued the friendship BC of the great bond I thought we had. Am I worth enough to know better than to be someone's second choice, and that is something I strongly stand on and he was well aware of, and why he chose not to be honest with me. I hope this cleared some things up, and I will be posting an official update about the police report soon.